shortly after our podcast, Dave, Khalil had reached out. First of all, complimenting the show. He liked it. So thanks so much for listening. But then he mentioned that he had a counterpoint to a lot of your opinions, which I'm all about. And then we started talking, all three of us, and we organized kind of a follow-up, which is the first time that I've ever done something like this, which is great. I'm very excited to get into it. But also, all the while, Haslab announced a new project, which is fan backed or what is it, community backed? What's the term that they usually use? Is that good enough? Crowdfunded. Boom. It's late. It's late for me. It's late for all of us. So I should have known crowdfunded. So, yes. Okay. So they did a Ghost Rider, but it's not like Johnny Blaze. It's Robbie Reyes and the Hellcharger, and it's like a ultra detailed charger with like flamed wheels. And I want to get to that, but I guess let's just jump into it. Khalil, when you were listening to Dave on this podcast, like what was your reaction?
So Dave and I have been friendly. Like, we have become friends over the last couple months. I really enjoyed his slow takes, the slow draw of the cigarette, and the interesting, the way he delivered his delivery. It was very thoughtful and very fact-based. It wasn't emotionally reactive, although there are some emotional reactions in some of your videos. I'm not discounting that. But it was different than the angry fanboy that we see so much, that kind of whine to get their way. It wasn't just about everything. There were very specific things that Dave was going after. So I listened, and it was really interesting. And I just think that there is a different side to collecting overall. And I think that's a different perspective than that, in my opinion. If you're going to listen to Dave's side of it, I think there's another side of it too. And I think that this is where we disagree. There's a little bit of anger and angst of collecting for you at this point. I like the look on your face. But for me, the thrill that I got when I was 5 and 6 years old is still there to get just about everything. And so, as much as it pains Dave to hear it, there are things that I love that are out right now, actually more than Legends, and enjoy more than Legends, that he would consider, as he would probably put it, shit.
So let's pause for a second, because there's a lot to get to here.
Yeah.
Well, can you introduce yourself and what you collect?
I don't think we have enough time.
What he collects.
So my name is Khalil Quotap. I run a site called Kastors Korner. I've done so for the past almost 18 years. And it's about collecting pop culture, just the enjoyment of pop culture in general. And I collect, I'm an 80s kid through and through. And so if it was an 80s line and it was in my orbit at the time, I probably collect it today. So Marvel, DC, G.I. Joe, Star Wars, Thundercats, He-Man, Silverhawks. I don't even know. I'm looking around the room. What else?
So all that golden age 80s stuff, the cartoons, the Filmation stuff.
Yeah.
All that stuff that was on, like Galoob, like all those like old
GoBots, Transformers.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
everything under the sun.
Were you getting the toys back then?
Yeah.
What was your favorite line back then?
So the line, my first introduction to toys was He-Man. And I think that's what most of people our age was. It was He-Man. It was that first kind of easy to play line when you're 3 years old, 4 years old. I would say that the line that had the deepest impact on me was a mix-up, a toss-up of Superpowers from Kenner and then Bionic 6 from LJN.
Bionic 6 was like the metallic ones, right? Was that Bionic 6?
Yeah, so they were half die cast
or something.
Yeah, half die cast, half plastic.
Yeah, Superpowers was big for me too. I still remember the day where I was at the toy store and I saw them. It was a pure revelation. Like I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
It still remains to this day probably, and I don't remember if we spoke about this or not, Dave, like the best superhero line to me in general.
Talk to him about that. Yeah, no.
Were you not a Superpowers guy, Dave?
I mean, I had some, but you're asking the wrong guy.
but okay, I think from the perspective of the line that had the biggest impact on the play factor, and that held its quality over the last 36 years. I think the Superpowers I've seen have held their quality and their mechanics better than almost every other line.
So
that's interesting.
I would argue, I will agree with you on the He-Man part of that. I'd say right after was G.I. Joe, though.
G.I. Joe's pretty dope.
I got into G.I. Joe late.
But Superpowers was like the first like super for a comic book kid, like seeing like finally like you had the Remco stuff, but those were cool, but they were very 70s. But to see like an action figure like of Superman and Batman and the Flash and Green Lantern and the Joker and like all the action moves that they had, like that was just a whole different like league altogether.
Literally.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, the Justice League, literally.
Like I had them and I remember them. Like I can picture the Joker, I can picture the Penguin with his his umbrella, all the colors. I don't think back on that line fondly now. It's weird. I don't, since you do so much, and I don't.
No, I was just talking about that.
Right above me. I'll pan up just a little bit. I've got the Hall of Justice.
Boom.
So
nice.
Oof.
I was just talking about with my comic book club. We were always talking about the Superpowers line.
Yeah, I think it's for DC. Mattel did a really good job, minus the management that got in its way, and if you haven't caught it, Dave did a really good expose on, or a series of quotes on it. Mattel did a good job bringing it back and kind of recreating the look of the Superpowers line. McFarlane's doing a great job. There's a lot of third-party stuff that's doing a good job. But you're right. The 80s look and feel of those Superpowers had an impact on superhero toys more than anything else. And I think it incorporated the action feature better than the big like rocket things, the things we see today on things. And some of the other 80s line that was kind of cumbersome, and these were kind of pure aesthetic 3D renderings of George Perez's work. And I think
wasn't it like the first time that we saw the thing where you could squeeze the legs and the arm moves? Was that the first time? I've been trying to figure that one out. Is that the first of its kind, like where we first saw that spring action arm introduced, that sort of stuff?
I mean, He-Man did some of it.
That was just Thunder Punch, but that came out. I think that came out after.
That was late. Yeah, that was late. But the Thunder Punch stuff was late, so I don't know. It definitely might be.
There might be some Star Wars stuff that maybe like the Wampa had some removable things, and you're looking at like they shortened it so it wasn't on a vehicle, like it was on. The mechanics were inside the figure. And if you ever popped one of those, it's very simplistic, but it works really well.
Yeah, yeah, like Red Tornado and stuff. Like I think when it comes, vehicles are a different ballpark altogether. It's not like the Hellcharger, but it was the first time that we saw, I think, where you like interact with the figure and make it go burr, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like you make the action move.
Yeah, the Migos didn't have that. The Secret Wars didn't have that. Yeah. None of the Transformers or Joes had that. So it was definitely unique to that. And then other lines picked it up after. Yeah, and you saw that in other lines that they did with the Silverhawks and the Thundercats had levers and things. Right. But it didn't stand out. So like you're right. It was one of those first lines that really incorporated, and it was appropriate action. Yeah. So it was Batman punched, Hawkman's wings moved, the Flash's legs moved. So it was all appropriate to what the character was.
Yeah.
When you think of it and how old it is very impressive. I will give it. Yeah. And in fairness, I might think the way I do about that line now because of the night liquor. So I am that sort of jaded. So it is very possible.
There was he was a very pompous and self-congratulatory
asshole.
Well, I was going to say his role at Mattel was the head of the lines for He-Man and DC, and he has a very revisionist history on what actually happened and how things happened. And he couldn't get out of his own way in patting himself on the back and making sure that he comes across as the nerd who got beat up a lot as a kid and now wields some power and wants to make sure everybody knows he has that power, and you should just bow down to him or you're on his shit list.
This is a former executive at Mattel?
I wouldn't say executive.
Okay.
No,
definitely not executive. Yeah.
Brand manager, line manager, consumer product manager. Yes.
What's so striking to me? Sorry to interrupt you, but what's so striking to me about the modern action figure scene is a lot of the collectors are kind of very knowledgeable of the people who work at the company. You guys really single out these people that have these positions at these places.
For me, I need someone to blame, man. I need to put a face to who I hate, and on the flip side of that, also who to be very thankful for. So,
do these social media has changed that game?
Yeah. Do executives reach out to fans, or they kind of stay behind the curtain?
No, I think a lot of them are public facing at this point.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
I think Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, where they have the panels and the fans have access to them and they spend time in the booths and you can just go up and talk to the guy who designed it, is different from the past where, they didn't have these panels. They didn't have these social media events where you got to really see the person that's creating the toy and talk about why they did it. It was usually just ads in magazines that, or on TV that you would see, and you would just know the toy was coming. You didn't know the names behind them.
Right.
And I think social media and the internet has kind of changed that. And they're all taking on a life of their own.
Yeah.
For good or bad.
So let's get to it. So I assume you've been collecting ever since the 80s. Have you been paying attention, quasi collecting? Are you active right now? What are you active with right now?
Everything.
Everything.
Every single thing out? Everything you can find at Target, meaning all the main line?
No. I just I think it would be easier to tell you what I don't collect than what I do. To be
How
honest
about you start with what you've just got? What's your most recent pickup?
That's a very dangerous question. I actually brought the bag right here to show everybody what I got today.
Great. You were at this toy store. You were at Target today?
Today, yesterday, the day before.
Dave, did you hit Target today?
Fuck yeah.
Nice.
Every day.
We got this thing that Dave hates. We got the new Legends. We got the Dark Trooper from the Black Series from Mando.
You're not a mint on card guy.
Oh no, everything gets open. Everything. It's toys. You got to play with them.
Yeah.
We got the new Dwayne Johnson Black Adam.
Oh, he's on a throne.
Yeah. What else we got? We got stuff that Dave hasn't seen yet. We have a new MCU Moon Knight.
Yeah.
As he hates them. Another thing he hates. We got the 40th anniversary of He-Man.
I want to like that so bad, and I don't like that face. I want to like it.
There is something off. It's trying to make. I was checking those out recently. They're trying to make it look old, but it looks off. Is that what's going on, Dave?
Yeah.
You got Hordak.
Uh-huh. Yeah, we got
right, Dave.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, Hordak probably looks better. Let me see Hordak better.
Hordak looks really good.
That's more from the She-Ra Hordak, or is that like He-Man?
It's that I was going to say, that's a very She-Ra Hordak. So
yeah, very, very Filmation inspired. Yeah. The bag's full of that. I've got the whole wave, the MCU wave. We got the new Green Lantern that McFarlane put out from Target.
So you dropped some coin. You dropped some major coin on toys, huh? Every month.
Yeah. every week. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Okay. So, and I assume you're at
We don't fuck around here, man.
You mentioned you mentioned that you collect everything and you have a different perspective than Dave. So, like, what's so different?
Yes, Khalil, what's so different?
I think I have a different perspective having worked with some of the designers over the years. And as seeing behind the curtain, and it drives Dave nuts sometimes because I won't tell him what's behind the curtain.
Brutal. I hate it.
I understand a little bit of the marketing. You know, I've worked with the marketing people. I know a little bit of that. I know a little bit of the retail side and some of the issues that come out of retailers like Target and Walmart, really not understanding the market, even with any ounce of intelligence. And so I think that's where the perspective comes from, where it's like understanding some of the hoops that the people that actually design the toys that we like, that we think are doing a good job in some respect, have to go through to even get these in our hands. And so I think, and the other thing is, it's like, it's fun. And when there's not new stuff to get, I will go out and get vintage stuff as well. So
that's pretty.
Yeah, he came
with
with his.
Minty? Is that a minty one?
The minty one.
So that's not a retro one. That's that's a Serpentor.
No, that's a 1986. Cool. Yeah, I got to get a new cape for him. His cape is ripped, but everything else is Minty Mints. So I got a Flint over here that's buried. So I got I'm redoing or fixing up a Cobra Stun right now. I've got the Havoc behind me, another vehicle. So, you know, when I'm not doing modern stuff, I will go back and get certain vintage items that I have a personal connection to.
And you're saying that like protocol dictates a lot of this stuff from the companies, like they have kind of mandates, they have sort of IP
requests from the retailers. Yes, I think that there's a lot of competing voices that impact what we see on shelves.
Sure. But do you want to jump in, Dave?
Go for it.
Let me ask. In this particular case, there is only one voice that should matter. One voice that the people buying them.
Yes, but
I do understand that, you know, like we were just talking about the Marvel Legends big giant leak list, and I came to that god awful MCU wave that will sell 8 units nationwide. Why do we have that wave? Because Target and Walmart want it. That's stupid. I'm sorry, but that is beyond stupid. So your perspective, you understand it and to a point accept it. I simply do not. I think that it's so dumb.
Here's I think this is a really crystal clear, and anybody that kind of collects modern toys and understands this will understand this comparison to what I have. A perspective of, if there is an item out and it's at Target, I have an item number. I can check it online through different third-party apps and see if it's in stock. I can then go into the store and ask an employee with said number, I am looking for this object. It is not on the shelf. Do you have a location for it? And 7 to 8 out of 10 times, they'll be able to walk into the back room to a specific shelf, pull it off the shelf, and hand it to me.
Okay.
If you go to Walmart, you can do the same kind of checking and know that something's there.
And they will.
If you ask an employee, they will look at you like you ask them for the launch codes to the nuclear weapons that the government has. Like, they look at you like you're speaking ancient Aramaic. They look at you like they can't even fathom that you would ask them for something that isn't visible to them. They will walk you to the aisle and look at it and go, it's right there. And you're like, no, that's not it. Well, what about this? No, that's not it. And they're like, well, then it's not here. And I'm like, no. You got it this morning at 8:55. It came on the truck. Can you please go get it? They have no idea. So I know for my own sanity that if it's not on the shelf at Walmart, I'm not asking for it. I walk in, I look. If it's not there, I walk out. It's not worth the headache. If I go to Target, I will ask those questions. So I look at the collecting the same way. Look, there are certain things that I will accept, like a Walmart, and just be like, okay, look, this is just the way it is. I'm going to deal with it. And whether I buy it or I don't buy it, it's just whatever. There are certain things that I don't accept. It's here. I want it. You know where it is. Let's not play this game. So I think that there's a different, I'm willing to accept certain things that are just there and aren't going to change. They're just not going to change.
I'm not willing to accept that.
I know you're not. And that's why we have the videos.
I have one, yes. I have one really good Walmart story. Do you remember so it's such a shame. New collectors these days have it so easy. Like they never had to deal with a full wave of store exclusive. It's just not fair. Like, do you remember what a nightmare those were?
No. We did some fun things with those.
But so you all got them very easily. Your little merry bunch up there. Good for you. Okay, so I live in the most densely populated state, and oh my god, like finding any of them, even like the Target fucking Marvel Legends waves was a nightmare, but none was worse than the Walmart DC Classics wave. So they had, they just never got them, dude. Like it was brutal. Like you'd see, like I'd be watching the Foosh and they'd be like, oh, I found the wave. I'm in Illinois. And I'd be like, oh shit. You know, then you go and you can only get it off the pallet, because if you don't get it off the pallet, you're never getting it. So I would go that night and I would wait, and you know, it wouldn't come out. And then that's your life until it's actually found. It's a nightmare. So the Crime Syndicate 5-pack, which was also somehow a Walmart exclusive. So I don't remember what we used back then. Was it BrickSeek still that we knew stuff? How did we find out?
It wasn't. We just had to go.
No. I knew it was there. Like I absolutely knew with 1,000% certainty that it was there. So
they would be able to check numbers back then.
Maybe
you can give them the UPC and they can scan it and tell you. And they can Walmart used to be able to tell you the area as well.
Maybe I did that. Okay. So I go to one employee. I'm like, you definitely have this. And he's, like you said, just looking at me like I have 15 heads, entirely unwilling to help. 5 employees later, this was the first time I went full Karen, grew a full head of blonde hair, and said, let me see your manager. These 2 managers come out, 2 of them. And I'm like, listen, you have this. It's in the back. I have been talking to employees for 45 minutes now. Like, I'm not leaving without. Just please go find me one. And I remember them both looking at each other like, is this kid serious? Like, he really thinks we're going to go back there and find this? And I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. Like, you're going to find this, or I will wait till the next manager gets here and I will ask them. Like, I'm not leaving without this. Because if I left, I was never getting it. Right. I had already driven 2 hours one day to try to get one and missed it by like 15 minutes. It was brutal.
Now,
finally comes to my story.
I have to step in here, like, because store employees being gruff to the fans who come in, who have done their research and are in search of whatever hype item that they're after. That's nothing new. That's from like streetwear to sneakers to all over. I mean, they're just not fans of fans coming in all excited and constantly giving them the business on the phone, calling at all hours of the day, showing up and making them do kind of more than what their job profile entails. So like this kind of hardship, like it's not really new to collectors. Like, so like, why not try different avenues like online or eBay even? Like
there was no online. There was no
at that
online
time. At that time, there was no option. Yeah,
there was no options. No, we had nothing, man. The bottom line of that story, those 2 went in the back and brought it out, and I left happy. That was the only time. Only time it ever happened. So no, but
like the beef of somebody, I think it's I get it that like like Target employees or people, the big box stores not wanting to help toy collectors just because like they don't get it and they probably are a little bit rude because they don't get it. I totally understand that. But also on the flip side of that, I do think these big box stores should recognize that there is a new wave of consumer, the adult consumer, that is passionate about these products. And I don't think that they're being serviced.
I think my only argument to that is if, and again, Walmart is the same across the board, whether you're going in for a toaster, you're going in for a toy. If it's not on the shelf, they're not going to help you. Doesn't matter. They don't care. And that's fine. They get paid minimum wage or they don't get paid well, or they, whatever they're doing, they just don't care. Target, I've had this happen where I go into the toy department, I ask for a toy and they go, just no, we're not looking for it. I'll walk into Housewares, I asked them for a coffee maker, same day. Employee walked back and walked out with a coffee maker. Like they don't have a problem, from my experience, in other departments if you ask for help. So my
they just don't
argument,
get it, I think, right? They don't get the subculture. They don't respect, more so, they don't respect the subculture.
Yeah. They don't respect the fact that you're an adult male or an adult female or whoever you are that walk into a store and asking for toys. They don't think there's a priority to that. For some reason, they'll prioritize a toaster or a blender, but they won't help you get you an action figure. Mind you, I'll probably spend more on toys in that store than I will on any other product. And I've complained and said, I'm going to walk in. There are times where I was buying Lego heavy. And I'm like, listen, today was the release date. I was going to walk out with $1,200 worth of Lego product. Nothing was on the shelf. So I went across the street to a different store and I bought it there. I was like, so you guys just lost out on all that money. And they don't care.
Right.
They don't care.
Only the manager.
The managers have told me to go screw too.
Those are bad managers then. I mean, you definitely get both. What do you think the percentage of helpful Target employees is in your experience?
I have watched, I have a pretty good track record.
Go ahead. Just what do you think overall?
I think, as you and I know, you find the people that you don't ask for help, and then you find the people that you do. And
absolutely.
And
right.
I want to say I have more wins than I have losses.
I would say that as well, but
I don't know if there's a percentage I could. It's struggle. I wouldn't deny that there's a struggle.
Do you think these Target employees are backdooring? Do you think they know these things are coming in?
Oh yeah, dude. There's been eBay listings from the back room of Target. Like you can tell that's where the picture's from. So absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think I think also learning the language. I've had some friends that have worked at retail, and knowing a little bit of the process, like being able to go in and say, hey, do you have a backroom location for this? I think is an important distinction besides saying, do you have this? Because the backroom location means it's in the back. There's a place where it is, versus their reset carts, which are scattered throughout the back room and get pulled out at certain times of the day when they have the employees to do it. So when they say to you, yes, we have 6 on hand, there's 0 on the floor, and there's 0 on the floor, and there's no backroom location, understanding that you've got no chance in hell of them finding it most times, unless you have somebody that actually knows what they're talking about.
I have my one dude who knows what he's talking about. And if he's not there and it doesn't have a backroom location, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Completely agree with that.
Now, what do you think? Do you think that these toy companies have kind of issued practices that they require or that they suggest when it comes to their product for these big box employees? Don't you think that would kind of be helpful?
I think it's too much. I think the network and the turnover. Yeah, I think the turnover, like I don't think more than a month or two have I seen a Target employee consistently. And actually it's the newer employees that are more helpful because they haven't been battered by many toy collectors. Yep. The ones that I see every single morning, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to them for help.
Yep. Agreed.
So I think there's too much turnover. And what did I send you the other day, Dave? Was there like 1,900 Targets in the US or something
like that. Yeah,
Yeah,
just over that. And there's almost double the amount of Walmarts. I Googled that right after you sent that.
right. So the idea that, what's that? Let's say 2,000 and 4,000 stores, and most of the time they don't have somebody dedicated to toys. They cover multiple zones within the store. So trying to train them on everything in every aisle, I don't think it's feasible. And our collecting is so niche. If you really think about it, it's 2/3 of one aisle on a good day of the space we take up an entire warehouse big box store.
I see when I go to Target, I see a whole aisle plus catered to the adult collector.
I would only argue that half of the aisle is Sonic and Mario and Bakugan. So those things are mixed in. So that's when I say 2/3. Okay. If you're talking about the action figure, boys action, I think 2/3 of a full aisle, both sides.
But then I'm talking about like all like the new like movie figures that are in like the game aisle, like that stuff too.
No,
right?
It's deceiving.
It's considered different.
It's very deceiving. Yeah, it's deceiving. When you look at just the Marvel section, like half of it really is kids crap that we don't even look at. Like we're just trained to go right past. Like there's a Titan series right now. There's little Black Panther figures that big for $11.99. Like we're not buying those.
Yeah. Are you buying those?
So you look at
it. No, I'm actually not.
So like, what's there to like? Do you just deal? Like, how do you get around this sort of conundrum here?
I shop just about anywhere that'll have. I use Shop Disney. I use multiple online stores, Canada, the UK, Japan, Target, Walmart.com. I just every availability I have to get around what's here. There's local stores here in Connecticut and Massachusetts that I'll shop at. There's one in California I use pretty regularly that has been my go-to. Mike's Comics, Mike's Toys and stuff.
I love Mike. He's the best. Love that guy.
For almost 16 years now.
The whole time. Right. Yeah, no, forever. Yeah.
Anything I want.
Are you in Jersey too, Khalil? Are you in New Jersey?
I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, okay. Cool. I missed that. And do you go to so Mike's Toy Store is like a big deal for collectors in that area?
No, it's in California actually. Yeah. It's online shopping.
Oh, it is?
And we shouldn't even be talking about it because we don't want to give away this secret, even though we love Mike and want sales.
Right.
Yeah, but good customers, he always takes care of us. So
he absolutely does. There's no question about it. He is the best.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So what I still don't understand, like, what is there a beef between you two guys?
No, I think we go back and forth because I'm willing to accept some of the inconsistencies and the frustrations that we see the toy manufacturers and the fans having to put up with in multiple different ways. I kind of accept it, and Dave is just ready to throttle the next person that says that, because I get it. I understand the frustration. I can't say I've never been frustrated to the point where, I'm ready to say tear it all down. But I think I've come out the other side of it because at the end of the day, there's fun. But there's times where somebody got something that I wanted and I couldn't get the other day, and I drove for 6 hours trying to find it.
Did you?
Just because I had to have it. Still don't have it.
What was it?
The new Gargoyles figure from NECA.
Do you collect all the NECA stuff too? Like, are you that deep?
Not all of it. Gargoyles, Back to the Future, some of the Scream stuff, things here, Turtles, things here and there. Not as much. So you just of the Predator and Alien.
You're a big pop culture guy.
Yeah.
Great. Has that always been the deal? Is that always like have you always had the t-shirts and just like whatever you can get from your favorite movies, television shows, that sort of thing?
Now, yes, that it's acceptable in culture. As a teenager, no way in hell was I wearing any of that stuff. And everything was in my house and hidden and nobody got to see it. Yeah.
So wait, you couldn't let your flag fly in Connecticut growing up? Like No,
I got the shit kicked out of me on a regular basis.
Did you really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I learned the hard way not to wear Spider-Man shirts in 8th grade class.
You're kidding.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Was it jocks or was it just meatheads?
No,
Like, what was it?
Everybody. They just, anybody that was bigger than me. Yeah.
I mean,
Literally.
I remember like reading comic books and like people saying like, oh, you're never gonna, you know, get into a relationship because you read comic books. But like now it's like everyone is into that stuff. Like it's almost like the nerds won.
Yeah.
But a Spider-Man t-shirt, even then, like if you wore a
McFarlane Spider-Man t-shirt, that cover, that McFarlane cover where he's flipping through the webs, wore that to school one day. I got so many, it was a black shirt, got so many erasers thrown at me, got beat up, got just horrible.
What was the school into? What were mostly the cool kids into at school then?
It was the summer of Wayne's World and football. So if you weren't into heavy metal and rock and you didn't enjoy football, you were screwed.
And you didn't like even Metallica? You weren't into?
Oh no! I was a city kid. I grew up on all the R&B and hip hop stuff, and so I was the odd man out.
Not even like
I moved from the city to the suburbs, and it was
no
I wore the tags on my shoes.
None of that
stuff.
Oh
no, they hated it. All that stuff. They hated it. I got the cops called on me for playing basketball in my driveway.
What?
Oh yeah, no, it was a horrible place to grow up as a kid.
That sucks.
But it was a better school. It was a better academic school.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna get knifed in the hallways at least, but I got beat up pretty much. I didn't get stabbed or shot, but I got beat up. So I went to one of the worst cities in Connecticut, to one of the most Stepford cities in Connecticut.
Is this the Image era when you were in I'm trying to get the
91
time frame 91
92,
and that's when like comics were like at the kind of emerging into pop culture. I mean, you had Rob Liefeld selling Levi's jeans around then, right?
Yeah, but I think the difference is there's no internet, right? So like, there's no internet, there's no MCU, the Flash is.
There's MTV, and you see that crossover.
The good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there was stuff there, Method Man calling himself Johnny Blaze, and these little hints here and there that comics aren't that much of a nerdy thing, or are a nerdy thing, but are acceptable. I don't think the acceptability was there. I mean, you had goofy stuff like Michael Keaton as Batman, Val Kilmer as Batman. They're campy, they're goofy. I think
Batman. Wait, you think Michael Keaton as Batman's goofy?
Oh, I hate it. Absolutely,
I agree,
bro.
I agree.
No.
It's
That's
goofy.
my favorite Batman. You agree, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wait,
we do agree on things.
Hold on,
Yeah.
Michael Keaton as Batman is goofy to you guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think him now as an old Bruce Wayne, I would accept that. But him,
did you guys see Batman in the theater, or have you saw it after the fact?
Yes.
Yeah.
You're so disappointed. It's so funny how disappointed you are.
Oh, that's my favorite Batman.
No,
you're allowed. You see, that's the thing. You're allowed
right.
That's the best one.
We're not looking to kick the shit out of you for it.
Okay.
That's the difference.
And by the way, I don't want to discredit your story. You experienced you experienced something that sucks, dude. Like, and by the way, not cool at all. Like, if I was going to school with you, we would probably be friends. I was totally
friends.
All that. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had friends that liked that stuff and were okay with it. But it wasn't something that was like, I'm not wearing the t-shirts. I'm not having the buttons or the pins. Like, it's how do I fit in, rather than stand out. And I just had a group of kids that just liked torturing me. It took a really long time to really, come into my own. And I think that might be a little bit of like my acceptance of some of this stuff and dealing with some of the bullshit that goes along with it. I know Dave swears all the time, so I assume that's okay.
No, go on.
I okayed it. I okayed it the first time. We're good. Yeah.
I think it kind of comes along a little bit along with the inclination to be a little more go with the grain, rather than push back. And I have my moments where I push back. It's just usually more public facing, like bad behavior versus we're talking about multi-million-dollar corporations. They don't give a shit about us. It's the bottom line. And as long as Target buys the stuff and takes possession of it, they don't care. And some of the companies like Lego buys back their overstock. So, and I think they still do that in a store where the Lego rep will go in and remove the old stock and buy it back from the stores. So there's a little bit of that. Whereas with, other lines like this, it's on Target and Walmart to clearance it out and they don't get money back for it. And the smaller stores, when there's breakage or if there's issues with it, like our friend Mike, if he returns something to Hasbro or his distributor that is broken in package or has a problem with it, he gets like nothing back.
Yeah.
So he basically eats the cost of those figures, and the cost of those figures, honestly, is like, I think what the stores were making on a $22 Legends when they were $22 last year, I think the margin was like $2 on each figure. And when you think about how much you'd have to actually buy as a smaller retailer, as a small independent business, to actually make it profitable to carry it, we're lucky that stores like Mike's carries this stuff.
So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
On one end, you're saying these are big corporations, they don't care about us. But then you go on to almost be an apologist for these same corporations. Like, why are you giving them so much leeway if they don't care about you anyway?
Yes, why are we giving them any leeway?
How do I say this? I think from a corporate level, yes. I think some of the designers that are working on the lines, I'm happy to support. I like the people. Go ahead.
Me too. Like, that's fine. Like, I don't mind. Go ahead.
I think the arguments we both have are valid. I think there's two sides to it, and I'm not apologizing for it. It's just I accept the way it works because I don't see it changing. It's not worth the aggravation in my life. It's just not worth it.
I mean, I even agree that it's not worth it, and yet I have it anyway because of what you just said. So they are making $2 per figure. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just assume that's still the case. They're making $2.
You just said, right?
So why isn't $2? So why isn't every single thing in the store something that we want to buy? Because one of the places you and I also agree is that these are not for children.
Oh, no, they're definitely made for us. There's no doubt. The modern action figure in the 6-inch form, and in some cases in the 3-inch and the 4-inch form, are 100% made 100%. For the children of the 80s that want to continue living back their glory days of playing with toys and them being alive. We all want Toy Story.
Like, can you believe, did you hear the conviction in which he just said that? How is there a massive amount of us out there that don't think that's the case? How is that even possible? But we'll just leave that alone. Forget that.
No. What do you mean?
Oh, they think they're for kids. Like, I will make. Like, I made.
No.
Yeah.
No.
They do that. But I
think the value lines, the role play stuff, I think those are made for kids. I think those are 100% marketed towards kids. Legends, Absolutely. Black Series, Vintage Collection. As I look around the room, Classified, G.I. Joe, Legends, all that stuff. Everything. I think that's where we were talking about how the stuff in the entertainment section, those are made by like NECA and some of those companies that are specifically making them for us. There's definitely no way that anybody's buying like a Jason action figure that's under 5 years old.
That's an argument. That's actually an argument that they use, though. They'll say it's, the stuff in the collector section is for collectibles, but where are the Marvel Legends? They're in the toy aisle. Like it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that comes from the inability for stores like Walmart and Target to understand the products that they actually carry in their stores. Their toy buyers are the dumbest people in the world, making the stupidest decisions I've ever seen at a retail level ever.
Indeed. You want to hear?
And it has nothing. Sorry.
The MCU collector tweeted this today. man, these are just toys. Why are so many personally hurt over these things?
I don't think that quote applies to this situation.
He said they're just toys. He is one of those, which is weird considering where he is and everything. But
I saw the same thing and I interpreted it differently. I interpret it that no. Listen, it's a pastime. It is a hobby. It is a source of enjoyment for us. It is not a life or death thing. I think if he was talking about sports cards, I think if he was talking about sports memorabilia, I think he could have been talking about automobiles and restoring cars. I think I think he was making that comparison. I don't think, because Hasbro's getting a lot of shit for the Hellcharger. Like,
isn't that just a way of shutting down a conversation, like saying, like, guys, just relax, don't take things so seriously?
But that's the thing. Like, that downplays the hobby too.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a way to shut it down instead of addressing.
Like, I hate the shutting down. It's like, come on,
I think I know him, and I've had conversations with him, and I've seen and heard some of the things that are being said that are very hateful, that are very, in some cases, racist. Dave and I have talked about it. And I think the frustration and what you saw in that tweet that he tweeted comes from that side of it, not the, it's trying to stop the pitchforks and the torches, that are trying to run through the streets. There are a lot of people with voices on YouTube and Instagram that are being racist and are being very Trumpish, very, 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 very evil is the only thing I can come up with. Just nastiness.
What sort of circumstances? Like, what's the scenario in which this mindset's exposed?
I'd rather not put a spotlight on a specific person, to be honest with you.
No names.
But there was a video that went around after San Diego Comic-Con, and instead of criticizing the toys, the gentleman in the video made very racist remarks towards Dan and Ryan, the two marketing directors for the Marvel Legends line. Very anti-Asian racist remark, two of them, and made very, very lewd and inappropriate remarks about one of the new female members of the team. And a lot of that very, very rah, women are bad, women don't belong in the workplace, making very racist remarks about Asians, making very derogatory comments, and very sexual comments about things. That is a lot of negativity that's going around. And I think that some of it is, I talk to Bryant on a semi-regular basis, who's MCU collector, and he's got one of the bigger channels on YouTube. And so he's getting a lot more hate directed at him personally and getting through DMs and things like that.
Why? Just because he's half Asian, that's why? Like, that's it? Nothing else?
No. But what I'm saying is there's a lot more venom coming through in PMs. Because if you like toys and you review them and you talk about them, he's got a bigger following, and so he gets a lot more of a spotlight. So I would give it the benefit of the doubt that it's not discounting the hobby. Having known him and knowing how much he buys, I don't think in any way he's discounting it as a hobby or as a passion. I think it's more like, let's take a step back and let's be a little more objective about the things that we're talking about and not make personal attacks.
Sure.
He phrased it poorly, but probably. I will accept your explanation of set tweet.
But what's
Look at me, all accepting.
What's wrong with a little criticism?
I don't think there's any. I think it has to be constructive, though.
Sure.
I can't say this is shit.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, though. Shit is shit, right? Like, why use flowery
language?
Why?
But why? Why is it shit?
Oh, I'll tell you why it's shit. What are we talking about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I think that some of the videos that you have done, Dave, are very insightful, because it doesn't say this whole system is broken, fuck you. It's this whole system is broken, fuck you, and here's how you could have fixed it. Or here's some suggestions that would make it better. It's discounting the hobby when you just say it's shit and you walk away from it.
You're saying it doesn't really love the conversation. But what I'm getting at here is that if something sucks, like, yes, like somebody who just walked in the door who you don't know and just like is pointing and be like, well, that sucks. But like, if you're somebody who's in the scene, who's established, who is a valued member of some subculture that has a following or is active on a board, like sometimes like something will come out, and if it's just you want to give it the thumbs down, I don't see a problem with that. It's when if that's your only mode of communication, that can get real tired real fast. Are you saying that?
So,
go ahead, Dave.
The opposite is very true, though. So people like MCU Collector does not dislike a lot of things. In fact, I can't think of one thing he's ever disliked. Therein lies the problem. People do not like shills these days.
I haven't watched his hundreds of videos. I couldn't say with any accuracy, honestly, whether or not I think he puts a positive spin on it. I definitely do. I also know that he spends a lot of money. It's his own pocket.
Sure.
Like Hasbro is not sending him, everything. Like, once in a while we will get samples. I won't discount that.
He gets from Toy Snowman all the way up in Canada to get shit early. So, and I don't blame him. I would do the same thing. And then he sells a lot of stuff too. So no, I have no problem with his buying habits or anything like that.
Yeah.
And again, I don't even want to just pick on him because it's more than just him. It's the people who are constantly posting that everything is great. That is the absolute worst.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there has to be a discourse in there. I think there has to be a balanced opinion of these things. Otherwise it's just going to be the same shit.
So
that's all it is. And then nothing gets better.
Right.
Where Dave and Khalil, where do you two stand when it comes to MCU wave? Like where is the line between you two of what you like and what you don't like? Like,
where do we stand on this one? Is opposite sides of the globe.
Yeah, this is very inside baseball, which I can appreciate, and which what this podcast is about. But also, like, I kind of want to get into like some of the releases where you two totally disagree on some stuff, and then I'd like to get into kind of a deep dive of kind of the more juicy aspects of tastes of what you both like and what you don't like. Let's get into that a little bit.
Yeah, this is where he's gonna have trouble winning now, because I'm so fired up for this. I'm so ready.
This is kind of what I want to get to. And by the way, Khalil, bravo to you for being able to retain your passion as a kid for getting all of this negative feedback from these jobs.
Oh yeah.
I agree with that as well. You have come out so well adjusted and are such a good human. So
I will admit, that was a really hard thing. And I don't know if she'll listen, but my girlfriend has definitely changed my ability to maneuver the world today and made me a little more understanding and a little more willing to have these conversations. Because I think I would have told David to fuck off the first time I heard from him.
You would have said,
if not for her.
You would have been Dave, your shit, and then that's it.
Yeah,
pretty much. Does she help you? Does she help you hunt and everything?
I actually don't ask her to. I really enjoy doing it with my group of friends. Once in a while, she's at Target. She'll text me and go, "Hey, you looking for anything?" No, I think in the past 5-6 years, she's found a couple things, but maybe one or two. Yeah,
she's accepting of the hobby, which is all.
And she puts up with the toys everywhere in the house.
That's it. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Does she dare bring you stuff for surprise, or she knows better?
No, we had the conversation when we started dating. I give her a list and I give her ideas. Don't buy me new toys because I can guarantee you I will have them months before. Yeah. And if I have to wait for you to get them, you're not going to find them.
So good.
So
While you're digging through your bag right there, where
Yeah.
do you stand on? I know where Dave stands on this, but where do you stand on Mafex and like the premium action figures?
Oh, come on. We got to go to the MCU, man. Come
Yeah,
on.
we'll get there. Well, this should answer you because I happen to have
Okay.
this right here. The newest Silverhawk from Ramen Toys. It's an import toy. I'm in for it. I'm in for the game. Oh, that was one of the things that I was like, Dave got it all wrong. Mafex is doing more than just Hush Batman. They're doing the whole line. They've got the Joker out, Harley Quinn. They've got Hush. They've got Batman. They're doing Nightwing, Huntress. They're doing the whole run of characters from Hush. So
Are they doing
I think we lost Dave.
He's asking if they're doing that. I think they are, Dave, just not as voluminous and not as quick.
Doing what?
Releasing.
are they doing the whole universe?
They're trying to. It's taking years.
That was my whole point. It's very nice of them to do all the Hush characters. That's all well and good. But if they're not gonna get me every member of every team, then go away.
But they'll do everything within that storyline.
That's not good enough.
That's good enough for me.
Right. So this is a matter of taste then, because that's nowhere near good enough for me. That is good enough for our friends.
Yeah, it is. All right. So MCU. Sorry, I'm dropping pieces.
That's where you two kind of square off when it comes to the MCU.
Well, that's why I was digging through my bag because I'm sure this is the one he hates the most out of this entire line. So
who is that?
This is the power broker Sharon Carter from Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Emily Van Camp from all the Captain America movies, Sharon Carter. So
how many collectors across the country do you think are going to buy that figure for full price?
I know 3 that ordered it with me.
3. Yep.
Well, no, that I know that ordered it with me.
That you know.
That I know. Yeah.
Right. So that's 4.
4.
Right. So right there, we're having a banner year for that figure. Like it's going to sell 4 copies.
Are you a completist, Khalil?
No.
So why?
It looks like I am, but I'm not.
But why? That
You really?
figure?
Yeah. It's weird. Like I would have said yes to that.
Well, I like the idea of the ability to pull together a display that looks as complete as possible.
I get it. But aren't you honestly like when you see that figure, like aren't you like, oh, I gotta buy that one now? Like, isn't there a little bit of you saying like, really, you're jazzed?
I think we should have gotten a Sharon Carter in the Civil War wave. I mean, yeah, Winter Soldier wave. I think that should have been she should have been part of the Winter Soldier wave. Like that was what, 2013, 14? The fact that I've had to wait until 22, that bothers me.
I think that she should have been an exclusive and very limited run and only on Hasbro Pulse.
I'm fine with that.
She could be in a 5-pack with your friend.
You lose him?
Maybe.
Right when he was getting good. Too.
I think he was going to say 5-pack with my friend Jimmy Woo. I think that's what he was trying to say.
Oh, that's what I said. Yes, I'm sorry. Did I break out? Oh,
yeah, you froze.
Good.
But yes. I finished your statement.
Yes, Jimmy Woo, Everett Ross, put them all in a 5-pack, put them all on Pulse, and let's just leave them out of stores so that they never, ever clog a shelf ever again. Because I have very much softened my stance. I will admit that they should make some movie figures. They are making way too many. The demand isn't there.
And I don't disagree with you. I don't disagree with that. But I agree that they should be out there and we should have the option to get them. So maybe, and this is where I look at it, like, I don't think without Legends in mainline, they're making this. So I think they're forcing somebody like you, to buy something like this so that people like me can get them.
That's the thing. They're stopping me from buying something I want by making it. That's the worst part. And it's just so brutal. Because again, I say the same thing as last time. All I want is more shit. I don't want to complain. I don't want to bitch. They make me.
but you don't want the MCU figures, right? Like that's the hard part. And I think that
I do not, because
we talked about this last week or the week before, where my comment was, or my thought was, there was a period of time where the MCU was in the background of Legends. There was a once in a while figure here and there that we would get, and the majority of the wave would be comic based. And there was a tipping point where Legends actually wasn't selling as well as it does today, from a perspective of there was a period of time where I could go on Walmart and Target and get pretty much any Legend I want at clearance prices or half price.
Of the comic book characters or the MCU characters?
Comic.
Both.
When did that shift?
Both.
When did this shift?
I noticed a shift after the second Guardians movie, where there were more movie figures over those two waves than normal, where it was like 4 to 5 movie figures to 1 or 2 comic figures. And the comic figures weren't selling. They weren't. But no. I'm going to finish. They weren't big names either. They were very, very niche characters that only certain people that were deep into the Marvel universe, comic universe, would want. And so they didn't sell at retail. And then there was a shift. You saw that with Guardians 2, you saw it with Black Panther, that there was a shift to be more movie focused. And then we get to the Eternals, which was just across the board a big mistake. And you're seeing.
Did you buy the Eternals?
I have them all.
You got them all?
I got them all.
Oh my God.
I got them all because I like the idea of being able to put Captain America with with the Eternals.
Now let me ask you. Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And this is somebody I've been reading comic books my whole life. I'm an appreciator of toys. I had the toys growing up. I still pay attention to toys. Why not kind of be the person in the scene saying, you know what, like, I don't want MCU Eternals. I want something that's Jack Kirby inspired. I want those Eternals. Like, why not be more vocal about that?
I want them all. Like Dave said, like, I want it all. I want all the MCU. I also want all the comics. I'll take them all.
Now I'll say this. Since I've spoke with Dave, I'm like, let me check out like some of this stuff that he was talking about when it comes to Legends. The one MCU figure that I saw that I'm actually like, oh, that's actually pretty cool, is the classic Loki, Richard E. Grant.
Yeah, Loki. I think that's fun. I'm excited to get that one. I'm excited for the.
Yeah, but otherwise, I'm just like, none of this stuff. Like, I don't see it as a Marvel comic book reader. I could see it as somebody who only watches the movies and doesn't read the books.
I stopped reading books recently, but I read books since I was 5. Like, right. You know, I love comics. I love, like, I'm not sure. Actually, I don't know where Dave falls in this. 2 years in a row, we've got 2 X-Men waves that were both from Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Happy or sad?
They're right there.
Okay. See, so like, yeah, like I like the niche ones too. Like I like that. I want wave 3. I want them to finish the teams.
As long as we get Holocaust, I don't care. I want Holocaust and Abyss. That's it.
Yeah.
I don't even care about the rest. Give me those.
I want Bishop. I want
yeah, give me Bishop. Yeah. Give me Bishop.
So, you know, I think that I think, even though I'm not going to give this person the attention, there were leaks this last week for Legend stuff. He stole information and then bitched that other people were taking his information. And I'm like, there's a little pot calling the kettle black there, buddy. Mm-hmm. There's a real winner right there. It looks from the look of it, they're going back to that idea of half movie, half MCU, half comic waves. They're going to put it out. Like, it's going to come out. Like, there's no way around it. Do you think the MCU is a juggernaut? Like,
do you think that this static within the Marvel Legends kind of community is based on the fact that you probably have people that came into it or who are coming into it reading the comics and appreciating the movies or whatever their feelings are on the movies. But then you have a whole wave, not even a wave, you have like a whole demo of people that are coming into it that only like the movies. And do you think that those two kind of mindsets are butting heads?
Yes, that's exactly what's happening, because they're absolutely butting heads. And there's more of me and him who have been collecting the whole time than there are of them. There just is. Because I mean, again, what he was thinking about, who are these aimed at? People who played with toys in the 80s. He's exactly right. These movie watchers did not play with toys in the 80s. Like, they were not even remotely close to born yet.
Yeah. So they don't even care about Bishop.
So therein lies the problem.
They have no idea who Bishop even is. They probably don't even know who Gambit
is. There's a very good chance that that's the case. Yes.
Right.
Yeah. They think Taylor Kitsch is Gambit.
So you have two sorts of collectors within the same property, which is trouble. That just screams trouble.
It is.
They always should have separated it. They just should have separated it.
Yeah.
Even what he is saying with these waves that are split, like, that's brutal. Nope, from either side. If you're only collecting movie figures, what the fuck do you want comic figures for? So, and for me, I don't want to buy any. Like, I get them home, I take out the Build-A-Figure piece, and they're instantly on eBay. They're not even out of the tray.
Okay, so there is the piece that really sets this apart, is the idea that, and I will call Hasbro on this, at this day and age, in this market today, they're still holding both sides of the aisle hostage with these Build-A-Figures.
Yes.
So the idea is, if you want the Build-A-Figure character, you have to buy all the figures or go hunting for the pieces that you want, but don't want to buy the figures. So you're playing this game. They're holding us they're forcing a lot of people to buy things that they may not want. Like, do I want all of these figures? Probably. I would say there are times where I look at a figure and go, I don't know who the hell this is. I'll buy it just because I want to build a figure.
You're the rare.
I know.
Like, you really are. Okay, as long as you know.
Yeah. Okay. No. I have friends and they look at me like I'm nuts. I know that. Yeah. But I also have friends that do the same thing that I do. So
I know no one else like you. No one. And I know a lot of people now, and no one is like you.
It's fun. I think I just have fun with it.
Yeah. I hate everything you call fun instantly. I'm like, I hate that.
But the day when I was driving around, like yesterday and the day before, like 3, 4, 5 targets. I get Legends here. I get this here. I found Mojo this morning. I didn't buy them because I've got the multi-pack on order.
Yeah. No.
Can we dive into that? Can we dive into Mojo for a little bit?
Yeah.
So originally it was released like with Longshot and Dazzler, but like now
it hasn't been released.
A different one.
It hasn't even been released yet. So they're sending dead plastic to stores again. So they repainted it to look like shit. They call it jaundice. It's a jaundice repaint. No, it doesn't look like Mojo anymore. Mojo's yellow and has the liver spots, which is in the 3-pack. So, but however, I mean, for the really cheap people out there that don't want to spend it's a really expensive pack. What is it? $131.99 or something like that?
Yeah.
It's a lot. So you have the choice, but that figure's going on clearance, and that figure's going on clearance hard.
Has there been a funny thing before? Has there been a Legends Mojo ever?
Way back in Toy Biz. So not really. If honestly, you're going back,
that figure still holds up.
I have trouble giving credit to any of the Toy Biz figures compared to what we have now.
No, you're absolutely right. But I think that MODOK and Mojo both held up long enough to stay in the rotation.
Yeah, but this Mojo,
until now,
or this MODOK is so much better, and so is that Mojo. Like it's
I'm not debating that. Yeah,
right. But I mean, I see what you're saying. Of all of the Toy Biz figures, that one I'll throw Blackheart in there because that one's not terrible. If you can get it to stand. Mine always fell, so I sold that years ago. But there is a couple, and sure, I'll give you Mojo. He could stand.
But I think it's just the idea that they haven't even released their Comic-Con exclusive one, which was, I mean, they said it wasn't Comic-Con, but it really was it's just one of those confusing things. They said that they didn't even release that yet. It hasn't even shipped to customers, ordered directly from them. It wasn't like there was another retailer that was handling that multi-pack, where they were holding back so they didn't cannibalize their own sales.
And yet they did.
And they did, because I'm sure there are a lot of people that just want Mojo and are going to cancel their multi-packs and just buy the $40 one and save $90.
But it's one of those hostage situations again, because the good Mojo is in the expensive pack. You have to accept an inferior product to spend less money.
There's a lot more customizers out today that I think would be willing to take a paintbrush to it. I'm just saying, like, if you really wanted liver spots or you want to change his color, he's enough of a blank canvas. He's not like this figure where there's a lot of little details on it. He's just a big blob literally a blob of plastic that anybody with a paintbrush could probably change.
I am under what's the word I'm looking for? My thought process is always the same on that. We should never have to paint anything.
No. I get it. I understand that. I do. But for 50 cents at Walmart and $40 at Target, you too can have a yellow liver spotted Mojo.
Again, though, it's a lot of time. You can easily fuck it up if you don't know what you're doing. Do you remember when we all had to dip the Boba Fett into hot water just to expand his helmet? Even that shit. Never.
No. I hate the idea of having to fix a figure or having to buy parts later on.
Yes.
Like to fix it, like having to buy it drives me nuts. And it goes back to that DC wave that, at Walmart, I opened 5 Atoms at that time, and all 5 of them broke. Yeah. And it was an exclusive wave, and that was a pain in the ass to get a hold of. So I agree, you shouldn't have to fix a figure out of the package.
What is
dude?
What is the what have the toy companies, what has Hasbro said about the Mojo that isn't quite what was promised in photos?
So Dan just tweeted about it today, just to make sure that we all knew that this one coming out single carded is a repaint and it is different than what we're getting. And that's it. There was no announcement. There was no nothing, which makes me think Target got what it wanted on that one, because they wanted shit like this. They want you to walk into the store and see
and be
something
surprised
that you don't know is going to be there.
It's a marketing play.
Yes. Same with that bullshit fucking black and white, what was it, Deathstroke, that's on the same box with that Kyle you got.
Yeah.
Is this the first time Long Shot's being made as a Marvel Legend?
In the Hasbro, yeah.
Does he have the
Actually, wait, is that true? Oh, yes, no, it is definitely true. Yes.
Is the little furry thing in the comic book? What was that little character? Wait, who does that? The thing that turns it. Never mind. From the book.
No, he comes with nothing. He comes with nothing.
He comes with nothing.
Alternate hands, maybe, but that's it.
And
you get a repainted Dazzler. Yeah.
Yes, and a shit Dazzler that nobody wants or nobody wants.
Whose idea was to make it a Mojo 3-pack? I mean, it sounds good, but then
it should have been Spiral. It should have been Spiral.
But Spiral, their release, has a deluxe figure all by itself and say, "Oh, look at all the new tooling. This one's $65."
They did 6-arm Spider-Man. They don't have to retool too much there.
Oh, but they will.
They will, but when they'll charge us for it. Like, I don't mind complaining about stuff like that when they, when it's clear that it's like, you could have given us Mojo and Long Shot as a Comic-Con exclusive for $100. It didn't have to be $130. That's bullshit. Like, there are ways to do it. We didn't need the mini Wolverine that came with it. We don't need the Dazzler. You could have done Mojo and Long Shot, sold it to us for $75, and nobody would have complained that there's a Target Mojo out right now.
Nope, agreed. Or they could have done Spiral instead of the other two, charged what they're charging now, and I still don't think anyone would have complained.
No, not even a little bit.
Yep. So, yeah, no, there's plenty of ways to do it, but the higher-ups are getting greedier and greedier, it seems.
And I think that's some of the disconnect that we see today, that it's the higher-ups that are making decisions regardless of the feedback that they're getting from both the customers and the teams. And I think that is part of the problem.
Are some of these higher-ups former 80s kids too?
I doubt it. They might be, but they don't care.
They might be, but they're probably the kids that beat the shit out of me.
Right. They're the MBA. They're the people who have MBAs in business. Like, they're just looking at it from like a line on a spreadsheet.
And you would think that they would see that this stuff is clearancing at Target. You'd think that they would see that it's like, hanging on the vine and being destroyed or thrown out or going to clearance stores, but they're not even following those logic. All they see is the fact that Target and Walmart took possession of it. And so once they take possession of it, it's their problem. And they gave us these stupid expanded release dates that we've seen with the Joe line that drives Dave and I nuts for the express purpose that the stores don't refuse delivery because they have windows and sets and mod sets and things. So if they show up early, great. If they show up late, they won't take them. So they give a year worth of, a year and a half, 2 years of a release date, like the Joes that are going to be sent to me. Like I'm getting my Crimson Guard next week,
and that's a G.I. Joe figure.
It's a G.I. Joe figure.
Yeah.
But according to Hasbro, it's not supposed to be March or May of next year. But I'll have them next week.